All right, we're live, Joe.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first live stream. It's Zach. How we feeling today?
We're feeling all right, I guess. I mean, obviously, it was an exciting win to say the least, but at the same time, like it was stressful throughout the first game. That's for sure. But like, I don't know. I obviously we have a lot to talk about, but what do you want to talk about first in particular? So
And particularly, I would love to talk about the offense because I really personally think the defense, not their fault. They forced 4 field goals in the first half. I feel like they did their job all day. The scoreboard probably didn't show it, given them how much points the Rams scored, but that's only because the offense didn't contribute in the first half. So I really think that has the main thing to do with AJ Brown not being utilized until the second half.
exactly, and it's once again I feel it's Kevin Petula holding this team back. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't even know if it was him coaching in the second half because this offense looked completely different than what it looked in the first 2 weeks. And that's just not going to be a second half adjustment. The way they've been playing so bad that it's not going to take one guy finally like realizing like, oh, maybe I should be doing this instead of that to be, and then it's a complete change. I don't think so. I think this offense looked great, obviously, in the second half. It was something to see, but obviously, the guy I want to talk about the most that was definitely the most exciting is this guy right behind me. What were your thoughts on what he was able to do and how the defense really, really backed up this offense and kept them in the game throughout?
Personally, I think like I was scaring myself before he had that big play against Stafford on that third down, Jordan Davis. I was thinking, man, I know he lost weight, but I still haven't. I need him to still prove himself. We know Jalen Carter is that player. And I was just thinking, as he says, as I think that he makes that play against Stafford on a big third down stop, and he gets a field goal block with Jalen Carter, and that final drive to stop the Rams from winning this game. Dude, I think Jordan Davis really showed out today. This was the Jordan Davis game.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think he was really able to show what he was made of. And obviously it has been great with him as of late. Like he hasn't like he's had years, he's like the past couple years at least, before his fifth year option, it was really like, I don't know, can we really believe in this player to continue to be well and prove that he was worthy of being a first round pick? I really don't know. But I think it's great the way he was able to play today. It was great overall, like played great on the defensive side, and then had two amazing blocks that really played pivotal to this game. And then obviously, let's just go over a quick recap of the game. Obviously, it started off great with Zach Bond having an opening drive interception leading to a tush push touchdown for Jalen Hurts. And then
Yes,
after
sir.
that, it became just completely downhill. The Rams dominated. Devontae Adams had a great touchdown catch. But then after that, he was pretty much a non-factor in the second half, at least. Like he pretty much was locked down. Puka Nacua became more of the pivotal guy, and that's what they get when they have two receivers like that. But the main issue for the Eagles on the defensive side, in my opinion, was the run game between Blake Cornum and Kyron Williams. They really weren't able to stop that tandem as a whole. But overall, I'm not mad at the Eagles defense. They really did play that bend but don't break defense with Vic Fangio. They kept this game in reach the entire game. They allowed field goal drives that could have been touchdown drives that could have put this game to bed. But then eventually, when the offense was able to respond, it made its impact on why the defense played so well. So, but let me looking at the rest of the game. Obviously, the big factor in this game as a whole was AJ Brown finally got involved and finally showed why he's such a talented receiver and why he should be able to be used in every game. How were your thoughts on how both wide receivers and the offense just looked very efficient after that touchdown drive?
I've been saying this for a while. I don't think they were not underutilizing AJ Brown. Teams know the threats on this team. It's no secret. You have Saquon in the running game and AJ Brown in the passing game. So you are going to heavily favor AJ Brown and make sure he is covered 95% of the time, leaving them short routes for Smith, the little 1-2 yard digs and dumps to Barkley, or you're, as we saw, Goddard over the middle. So you can't utilize. You're utilizing him as much as you can. Today, I feel like AJ Brown finally got some space and he made moves. He was able to break tackles, break free. And I think they finally worked him in well. I feel like those first 2 weeks, you kind of got a feel for it. I feel next week it's going to against the Bucks will be a big game for the running game, even though we have Johnson out with the neck. Hopefully it ain't long term, but I'm hoping now that they could go more toward AJ Brown again, leaving room up for the run game.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see because obviously the Bucks had their fair share of craziness with the Jets blocking their field goal and taking it back, but then Tampa Bay ultimately winning it and how they've looked great so far. Interesting to note that Mike Evans did lead that game. We'll see how long the severity of the injury is because they'll definitely need him next week. But obviously Ibuka's been great. But just talking about the game as a whole, you bring up Lane Johnson. I think someone we have to appreciate without a doubt is Fred Johnson. Obviously a guy who was here last year, played when he needed to when we had injuries to Mailata and was huge. He was like when they put Pryor in, he was god awful, and you could see that it affected the whole offense. They put Fred Johnson in, they get a breath of fresh air. Like it was great. He was amazing. I saw the one play. I think it was one to AJ Brown or Devontae Smith, one of the two. He blocked Jared first perfectly, and it resulted in a great overall like he made an impact, and I think he needs to be appreciated because he's not going to show up on the scoreboard, but he made his impact more than people understand. So,
Agreed.
mm-hmm. But obviously, we both are frustrated about the offense as a whole. Yes, they won the game. Yes, it was a thriller to say the least. Yes, it had my heart pumping when they got that second block field goal. But what do you think they got to do? Because this offense is still a problem. Yes, they had a great second half, but that first half should not be erased from our memories. That first half was awful, was abysmal. What do you think they got to do to get that out and play four good quarters of football?
Its story is good as old as time, Zach. The Eagles been doing it for the past few years. I touched base on it a couple weeks ago when they played Dallas. They can't be playing catch up. It almost cost them the game today. The offense has to connect right away. I don't know. It could be Kevin Patullo. It could be his fault because I don't know if you saw, but Hurts went up to him and screamed at him what the hell are we doing? So it's good to see that Hurts is taking charge. So if he could keep that momentum going into next week, because Tampa Bay is a tough opponent. So it's good to see. And you guys, we're not really good against Tampa Bay either. I'm pretty sure we're 0-2, 0-3 in our last few meetings with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be tough to see next week.
Yeah, I agree. I think the offense, it has so much potential to be great, but this offensive coordinator is just holding them back tremendously. When have you seen an offense that looked so talented last year? Obviously, they had their toughness between the week 1 and 4, and then obviously went on that amazing tear. But even when they were bad, they still have the pieces. They're still healthy right now. They have Saquon, they have AJ, they had Devontae Smith. Goddard has looked great so far this season, getting into the end zone today. And then you have the offensive line that's, yes, been shaky, but it's also the inability of Kevin Patullo to call good offensive plays that opens up these receivers quick and for Hurts to get rid of the ball quick, leading to these sacks. But Kevin Patullo, I think, has a big game ahead of him. This game was big for him, but then he's facing a defensive mastermind in Todd Bowles next week and a team that always seems to get us in Tampa Bay, and it's in Tampa Bay. Obviously, they're
in Tampa Bay is hard.
Exactly. We just seem to struggle there, and the way our offense is looking going into that game, it definitely is some cause for concern, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong. Jalen Hurts and the offense, the players themselves, I'm not blaming this on any of them yet. Obviously, Hurts had that fumble, but the pass rush.
That fumble that wasn't his fault. He just burst beat that our lineman off the line and just killed Hurts. It was on his blind side too. You can't do anything about that.
Exactly. And it's just I'm going to keep harping on this. It's Kevin Patullo's inability to run good plays overall. You saw it early in the game. I don't know if you remember this.
The 3rd and 20 run to Saquon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also what I was going to bring up, I don't remember this. The touchdown drive, yes. But Devontae Smith and Jahad Dotson lined up on the same side, and Hurts missed Dotson, but it also looked like the ball could have gone to Devontae Smith. I think it was
Yes.
It looked like it went off Dotson's hand, but Smith was right behind him. It was two receivers basically running the same exact route, and it was going to end up not good. And then, I mean, I don't know at the end of the day. Like, obviously,
One of them could have ran the wrong route, but
exactly.
if
Exactly.
Patulu's offense is as good as you want it to be, that wouldn't happen. Like, we know Dick Fangio, that stuff doesn't happen. And if it does, it's once in a blue moon. This is now repeated where our wide receivers have either ran the wrong route or just completely missed in general.
Mm-hmm. And then bringing up AJ Brown, obviously he had a great game, but you could see how him not getting targets affected him. He got a penalty. I don't know. I don't agree with the penalty because both him and Emmanuel Forbes are going back and forth, but you could tell how much this is frustrating him, like how upset he's getting that he's not getting these targets. But then as soon as you get him involved, the announcers were even saying it, like, this is what, like, Joe Davis, he's one of my favorite guys, and then Greg Olson's pretty solid too. But they were literally spelling it out for you exactly what you needed to do, and it took them to the third. It took him to the third quarter to do it, which is completely inexcusable. Kellen Moore, sorry, wasn't that he was good, but he's not amazing. Like, we haven't had an amazing guy since Shane Steichen, which we obviously saw, but Kellen Moore did a lot with this offense last year, and then Kevin Patullo literally got put into the same situation. It was literally a copy and paste offense. Only difference is sliding in Tyler Steen for Mekhi Becton, which, yes, is a big difference, but at the same time, when you have your core pieces still here, it shouldn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's tough to explain, I think, at the end of the day, because we know what this offense can be, but we don't know what it ultimately going to turn into because of what Kevin Patullo has shown us through these first 3 weeks. So, but let me see. Like, obviously, the defense. Obviously the defense deserves their flowers. They put us in a lot of situations. Like, they after that turnover that we had to start the second half, 0 points allowed by the defense. The Rams got down into the red zone, but the defense played that bend that don't break classic Vic Fangio defense, and it worked. I mean, obviously, the pass rush, they got there, but there was no sacks, which was tough. Zach Bond, I think, ultimately played the best when it came to defense and just making plays. And then, because Blankenship, I mean,
he had a couple good pass breakups, but he did his they all played their job the way they were supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to cut you off, Zach. I just had to make that.
Yeah, I know. I definitely agree with that. But let me ask you this then: if ultimately, what is your ultimate grade for the game as a whole by the Eagles, like team as a whole?
Team as a whole, I would say a B.
Okay.
Just because your defense, and trust me, all that rating comes from the defense. Your offense is the only thing that's keeping it from being an A. But you got some things to figure out. If the Eagles go on the next few weeks and play how they did in that second half, then they would be that A+ team threatening for back-to-back championship. Knock on wood. But the offense has to click.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and obviously, I was looking. This game was circled on my calendar. One, because the Rams were talking all this shit. Jared Verse, you can shut the fuck up now. You can get out.
0-3.
Yeah. And then obviously this was a big game because we see the caliber of a shootout it could have been if the Eagles, like, this game, if the Eagles offense was competent, this game definitely could have turned into like a Bills Ravens game from earlier in the year. This game, both teams could have reached 40, but obviously our defense played well enough to hold them down. But you knew how this wasn't going to be like last week with Kansas City, that Kansas City wasn't going to be able to respond and give you all these chances to take the lead. The Rams offense has looked great so far in this season, and they did look great today, at least for the first half, but the second half, not so much. But overall, I mean, keep harping on this again and again and again. Kevin Patullo, this is how I got to wrap it up with him. You got to realize what you have, because if you don't, it's only going to hurt the team more than you can realize. It's that plain simple. It's like he got set up with the freaking Avengers Super Squad, and he's treating this like it's a high school football team. I don't even know, man. I don't even.
Yeah, I know. He has a lot to prove in these next few weeks. If he either it's shit or get off the pot. If you don't perform well, see you later.
Exactly. If he doesn't perform this good this week, we might have to call up the Saints and be like, yo, you guys are 0-3. You want to give us Kellen Moore back? Because I don't even. But yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. Obviously, the game is past right now. If we probably would have done it earlier, I probably would have been screaming most of the time because that's definitely what I was doing there in the game. Like it was definitely towards the very end too.
Toward the end, yeah. It went
Exactly.
from go fuck yourself, you suck to holy shit, we actually won.
Exactly. And but yeah, so it's gonna wrap up our portion. Joe, do you just want to give them a little preview of what to expect hopefully this week?
Yeah, thank you for joining the live for everybody who did decide to press on it. We do appreciate your support. Keep subscribing, keep following us on Instagram and TikTok. But a little forward looking at this week. Um, Tomorrow we're gonna start the pod for the Phillies. We know we wanted to get it in before the Dodgers series, but we figured we would wait and evaluate how would they do on the rest of their West Coast trip and have a better idea of how the playoffs will look now that this series is wrapped up in Arizona and basically with 1 week left until Red October. So, and then Zach, we figured out on the punishment, he's going to be doing the what, Zach?
So as of right now, hopefully this Saturday, I will be doing a milk mile since you guys got the YouTube channel to 200 subscribers, which once again, I appreciate you guys so much. Like Joe said, keep watching because for what me and Joe were talking this weekend, and we got some great stuff planned ahead, especially just a little preview for the postseason. So there's some great content coming for this postseason. So expect that and just keep watching, like I said. But yeah, I will be doing a milk mile this Saturday. Make sure to tune into the channel. We'll post a little video after I do it. So, but yeah, anything else you want to finish off by telling the viewers or?
Go Phils, go Birds, and Flyers season's coming. So be ready to start hearing more about hockey and basketball.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna end it off like this. A lot of people were wrong by this big guy right here, but this guy proved a lot of people wrong today. Good job, Jordan Davis. He's the player of the game, man. Get him whatever he wants. Get him that 5-course meal, man. He deserves it. But we appreciate you guys. We hope to continue this in the future. Hopefully next week we're doing this after we beat Tampa or after the Tampa Bay game in general. But thank you guys for coming on for this first ever live stream. We'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy your week. And hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow with a Phillies episode. See you guys. All right.